Dicto. Alright, this video is going to be an interesting video because this video is going to cover the experiences yours truly has had with the Shin Megami Tensei series and how he got into it. So let's get started, shall we? Alright, one day I'm going to my local GameStop in Deptford Mall, right? You know, hang out, not buying anybody, just kind of, you know, chilling. I'm looking for a game to buy. But I want to be a relatively cheap game, you know. So I'm in there, and I happen to find this little number. This game, of course, is Persona 3 Fez. This is the add-on edition, if you want to call it that. Or, yeah, we'll call it either the add-on or the append version, or whatever you want to refer to it. In Japan, they actually do call this, by the way, the append version. Has the regular game, which is on the Persona 3 disc, which is right here, as well as an extra game called The Journey. In case anybody's wondering, yes, I literally have these stacked in chronological order. Because I'm that anal right now. But it was the first game that I had bought. And at the time, it literally only cost me about $15. It was a game that showed me something that no other RPG at the time had. And it was that you could actually have an RPG in a modern setting and keep the themes a little bit, you know, on the mature, and, you know, grow up the themes a little bit, make them a little mature, make them, you know, a little bit more real than saving princesses and all that stuff. Got a little graphic at times, especially the way you have to summon your personas in the game. Now, I say that the game only cost me $15 at the time because if you go and you buy that game now at a GameStop or on any website, you're going to be paying a little bit more than $15. Matter of fact, if you find a new copy of the original Persona 3, which we'll get into in a second, it could run you anywhere between at least $70, $50 to $70 on Amazon. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's factual. Alright? Yeah, but, so, if that was the first game I bought, then, well, okay, wait a minute. Was that the first game? What happened to the original version? Well, as we all, if you've gone through my videos, you'll notice that yes, I do own it, which is right here. But before we ever got to this game, there were a couple others that we ran into. Specifically, Persona 4 and Devil Summoner 2. This one is Reido Kuzunoa versus King Abaddon. No, I do not own the original Devil Summoner yet. Yeah, before I ever got this game, we got these two. Now the cool thing when I got this game, and I actually have it with me here, is it actually came with this little guy. And this guy, in case anybody's interested, is the guy on the cover, and that is Reido. Pretty cool, huh? So I'm going to tell you right now, if anybody even dares to try and play the Devil Summoner series, it's going to kick you in your head. This is arguably one of the hardest RPGs I've ever played out there. Bar none. This one's fun though because it actually lets you control your whole team, unlike this number. The cool thing about this one is it came with a soundtrack. So did this one, but you had to get this version, and it's right in there. Can you see it? So we got these two games long before we were able to get a hold of this one. But then the question will become, so where do you go from there after you pick up Persona 4, Devil Summoner 2, and even Persona 3? Well, Persona 3, we still didn't get to Persona 3 yet. The game actually we picked up long before that one, believe it or not, was the first game in the digital Devil Saga franchise. Yeah, part 1. If you see my latest pickup, you'll know for a fact that I now have the complete set. Which this one was just yesterday. But I found this one over at a store called Game Crate, which no longer exists in the Deffert Walmart. And it's a shame that I don't either, because you can find a lot of good games there. Like I said, I found this, which was complete in the box at the time. And the funny thing is, and I've shown this in my when I bought the game. Here's the registration card, which somebody actually had filled out but never sent into Atlas. So then the question became, obviously, as we've seen now, with the Persona 3 game, would I ever get that game? And yes, I did. But then it comes, where do you go next? Well, I had to figure out what was the first game in the series, chronologically speaking, that came out here in North America. And that game is the one I'm going to show you next, because it was one that I found by actually researching GameStop's website to see if any store had it that was local to me, and one did. The first game, Nocturne. The funny part about Nocturne, or as you may know it in the UK, Lucifer's Bell. Or was it Hell? I want to. Funny thing about this game is when I got it, a guy had been holding on to it for one of his buddies who worked at the GameStop for a while, but he literally didn't like the dude, and he knew that I was coming in all the time, so he sold it to me for the $30 that it was supposed to be sold for. Plus, what was funny was one dude walked in the store when he found out that I was buying the game. He was like, "Oh, you lucky son of a bitch!" And I'm like, "Sorry." He didn't care so much about the fact that I was buying it. He just cared because the fact that this version has Dante from the Devil May Cry series in it. No joke. I haven't gotten that far yet, though, in the game, if you can believe it. And then obviously, as we know, just recently, like I said, I picked up this game. But here's like the funny thing about these games. I haven't beaten or completed any of them yet. Nope. It's actually a royal shame too, because they're all fun games. Each and every single one of them. But they're all really graphic. By the way, in case you're interested on the years of these games, the years of release dates, they go something like this. Nocturne came out, I'm going to give you the North American release dates. Nocturne came out on October 12th, 2004. Digital Devil 1 came out on April the 5th, 2005. Volume 2 came out about 6 months later, on October 11th, 2005. The game that I don't own, which is the only one I don't own of the games, Redo Kuzunoa versus the Soulless Army, came out on 10/10/2006. Its companion came out, and I think I may have wrote the dates wrong here, because this says October. This says yeah, May 12th, but that's maybe 2007. Whoops. The original Persona 3 came out on April 14th, 2007. And Fez came out in 2008. We don't have the actual release date, however. This game, however, did come out, excuse me, on February the 9th, 2008. So it did come out the same... Oops, excuse me. I just went backwards, my bad. I just mixed that up. Yeah, Fez came out in 2008, and this game, excuse me, came out... I'm leaving it in, I don't give a shit. Excuse me. On, excuse me, December the 9th, 2008. The Persona series is one of graphic nature, but is a hell of a fun series, and the entire Shin Megami series is a very fun series. There's a reason that I pursued it for as long as that I have. And I sincerely wish more gaming companies would try to make more RPGs like this series. It'll never happen though. Especially in this day and age of some people trying to be a little too PC. But there's a reason that you will always hear me talk up the Persona series to anybody that asks the Persona, excuse me, and Shin Megami in general. Because without it, RPGs, in my opinion, in this country, don't learn to grow up. But that's just me though. Here's a question for you all. If you've played any of the SMT games, what do you think of them? Oh, and in case anybody was wondering, yes, I do plan on completing the PlayStation 2 series. And I will be collecting the reproductions of the Super Famicom, and even collecting the Nintendo game that came out as Famicom, if I can find. So give me your thoughts. You will have a good one. I shall talk to you later.